Okay, we're live there, Bernie. Anytime you're ready, sir.
All right, thank you, Tony. Folks, welcome to the Phoenix Business Exchange East End Edition on this fine July 19th, 2023. And we're going to start off with some words of wisdom. And Tony, back over to you, sir.
Okay, will do. Let's just make that. All right. So today's topic for our education is not to cut corners and to have a really good honesty within yourself, and not being able to have the strength or have the strength to just continue the high work that you do. So we're really talking about integrity. We're talking about trying to get to the point where our work means something. You know, it's not something about integrity that is interesting, because it takes so many years and so long to build it up. So you have this reputation of integrity, and it just takes one or two things that'll happen to break it all down. And it's almost like a fountain that you got to keep founting. You just keep hovering and making it go. This is one lesson learned by a carpenter. It was a good lesson there. The story goes that the a carpenter went through his entire life and always had an incredible workmanship. He was known for with many people as if you send this guy in, he would do an amazing job, and everybody was very happy with his workmanship and his service and just the way he would be able to create things and make things. And over the years, he built up an incredible relationship of integrity. And then he got to the point where he had to put in his notice to his boss and says that he's going to be retiring. So his boss says, I respect that, because you have had a really long career. It's been decades. And so you deserve it. But I would like to ask one favor, if that would be okay. And he says, I'd like you to build one more house. And he sort of reluctantly said, well, I really kind of want to go on retirement. You know, wife and I have plans and so on. But reluctantly, the boss kept telling him that it would be nice to get this one last house, because the customer that he knows the person very well. And he also knows, of course, this carpenter. And he says, you guys have very similar needs and like, so I think anything you build, he'll be so happy with. So he said, okay, I'll do it. And after he started to build the house, just in the early stages, he started to lose heart. He started to see that, I really don't want to do this, but I did say that I would do it, so I am a man of my word. So I'll just go through it. But then the whole thing shifted, and he just wanted to get the house done as quickly as possible. So he started cutting corners. He started buying whatever building material that he could get, even if it is substandard. Yeah, the appliances that he got had the ordered high quality ones, but they weren't in right away. They had to be ordered. It would take a few weeks to come in. So he just bought something on the floor, had scratches on one side of the fridge. But his justification was, well, the scratches on the side where I'm going to put the wall, so the owner won't even know. It's just one of those things. A lot of things can be hidden. The floors and the walls were not square like he normally squares them. He just wanted to get the work done as quickly as possible, if you get the idea. So he kept going through this. And then one day he said to his boss, the house is finally finished. And the boss was happy. So he was on his way. And throughout the whole thing, he was just saying, "Oh, I know what the boss is going to say. He's got a good eye. He'll see my crooked cuts, and he'll see that." But no, and he was getting a scenario that, I really don't care. I really don't. I just wanted this done. And so, well, what could the boss do to me? Fire me? I mean, I'm retiring. So he had this scenario in his head. The boss came over, and he normally would go through the house with a fine tooth comb, but this time was different. The boss came and he was happy, and he looked at the house on the outside as the whole thing is finished. And he just went in the house, and he came back about literally a minute later. And he says, thank you for building this house. And the boss reached into his pocket and gave the carpenter something. And he looked down, and it was a key. And he says, what's this? He says, it's the key to the house. He says, with all your years of workmanship and dedication. You never called in sick. I'm gifting you this house. This is your house now. And the carpenter was just speechless. I says, wow, what an amazing, generous gift. And then it dawned on him, gee, if I would have known it was going to be for me, I would have done a lot better. I would have gotten high quality appliances. I would have gotten the best materials and put the best work forth in it anyway. Even though I finished several weeks ahead of my normal schedule, I would have invested that gladly if I known I would have gotten the house. And but that's what the boss said. He said he just wanted to gift him this because the client that he knew was him. So when you're looking at just the one, now he realizes that he's going to have to live in an inferior house for the rest of his life because the condition was to get the house that he couldn't sell it. He had to live in it, him and his wife, for the rest of their life, and it won't cost him a penny. So when we're looking at integrity and the way you do work, sometimes just one time that you just back off and you don't care, you just want to get things done, that sometimes is a very important client, maybe someone that you know. Maybe it's, in this case, it was him. So when we're building our reputation, let's build carefully. Let's build it with that, even the last job that we do. And that is one of the sayings in the industry, is that you're only as good as your last job. Even though you've been doing it for 40 years, it's still what you did last time is what you did. And if you have that attitude, then you'll get through this very, very well. So that's your education.
Tony, thank you so much. And so, folks, I'm just going to post in the chat our live feeds, both on LinkedIn and Facebook, so you can put your contact details in that space. And we'll start off doing our intros. And Sam, you're up, sir.
Thank you, Bernie. Good morning, everyone. Sam Sturz, connectedcars.ca. My specialty is electronics in cars, particularly dash cameras, a little device that keeps track of things when you're driving, and great thing when you have an accident that can prove guilt or innocence. It's a great thing. I've had occasion to have to use it, and it's benefited me greatly. Also do minor repairs, brake jobs, and oil changes. And speaking of what Tony's talking about, one thing I do when it comes to doing brake jobs is make sure that I lubricate these caliper pins. Most cars that have disc brakes use these caliper pins, and the intent of those is to basically help the disc come back away from the rotor and stop them from wearing down. And lots of people in a brake job avoid this, and there's a reason why. It's because when they start to stick up or get sticky, the pads wear down, and you have to go in to get brakes sooner. I make sure that those things are lubricated. In fact, in my own cars, I lubricate them every spring to make sure that they don't get sticky because of the salt and things like that can get on them. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, integrity of a person like myself, make sure these things are taken care of. Let me know. You know, someone else needs that kind of work. Refer them to me, Sam Sturz, connectedcars.ca. Today's mobile electronics without the cost of a vehicle, and much more.
And Sam, I've just put your logo into the chat. So, and it's the colorful one. Not that it doesn't have color otherwise it'd be blank. And Matthew, over to you, sir.
Good morning, everybody. Matthew Ledard, Arizona HVAC Services here. Continuing talking about air conditioners. We keep getting these heat waves, and we need to get air conditioning in. We are running short on some of the lower entry-level units. One of the models was no longer available anymore, and we're running short on some of them. We're trying to reintroduce some new products that we've come in contact with here through Bryant Carrier. Still got tons of Bosch heat pumps though, and we're installing tons of them. So if you know anybody interested, love to hear from you about it, and love to go out and help them out and get something set up for them. If anybody, you know, we do have a referral program. Anybody passes on some information, helps us out, we help you guys out too as well. So we appreciate any support and be happy to help you guys out. So Matthew Ledard, Arizona HVAC Services, quality you can trust, guaranteed. Thank you so much.
Matthew, thank you so much. Jacqueline, over to you, ma'am.
Hey, good morning, everyone. So I went out for this beautiful walk and I did exactly what I do. I lift my shoulders, I take them back and I drop them down. And I appreciated right arm moving forward, left arm moving back, right arm moving forward, left moving back, Bank of Canada moving forward, People's Mortgages running back. Now I dare you to do all at the same time. It's challenging. What I do is help people put everything in place where perhaps Bank of Canada steps back so that we can move forward. When you're looking for strategies for your mortgage money, get hot and sweaty with your mortgage, honey.
Jacqueline, thank you so much. Tony, over to you, sir.
Thank you, Bernie. Hi, everybody. I'm Tony Jennis with Higher Self. I'm the spirit guy of the group. One of the things that we talked about in my class on Fridays, it's a Tune In with Tony. It's a Facebook group that I created about 2 years ago. And I just wanted to give back for all the success I've had over the years. And it was interesting because sometimes we look at things in a different way. And when I look at it, some various things, I kind of shudder. One of the things I really shudder is that I will see a post that somebody will put on Facebook, and it might be a picture of their loved one in a hospital bed, and they got wires and tubes coming out of them, and they say, send love to my baby, or send love to my father, mother, sister, and whoever their loved one is. And then, there's a feed, okay, sending, and in one of them, I counted over 65 people that are sending whatever that they're sending. And most of it is sympathy, is that I'm so sorry for, where they are. And from an energetic perspective, that's a low energy, right? Think about it. A sympathy is a down energy. You feel less than. Nobody's saying sending love, or well, they are a bit, but I'm not feeling that they're sending that. People don't know, as a general rule, how to send energy to someone that's going to benefit them. And in one of the classes, we talked about how even one person that sends real, authentic love will override and counteract balance of over 1,000 people that'll send low energy. And I'll put the link on the chat so that you could listen to that. But one of the things we talked about is that it's really important to be able to send love. If you're sending healing, don't send sympathy. Don't send I'm really sorry to hear about whatever. Send it, okay, you want to send something positive to this person. Because somebody that's going to send real love, they have to counteract the balance of the low energy first before it gets to that person that needs healing. Think about it. There's no way that energy is going to go straight to the person when there's a whole long line of people that feel sorry for you. It's best that they have to counteract all that. So when you're sending it, there's certain ways to do it. And in the video, I show you how to do that. So Tony Jennis from Higher Self. We'll hope to see you sometime on Tune In with Tony. I also have a Facebook group that you could catch the class if you can't make it on the 1:30 class, because it's in video form. Okay, thanks a lot. Raising your spirits.
Tony, thank you so much. Did you want to play Q, Wendy's, and Susan McGarry's?
Oh, yes, thank you. Yeah, we'll do that. I'll do that right now. Yeah.
Or you want me just to do my intro while you're lining those, queuing those up?
No, I got it. I just needed the... all right.
Prompt.
Wendy Chung, real estate broker with Century 21 Synergy. Did you know that we have 5 offices now across the Ottawa area? We've got one in Orleans, one on Lancaster Road near Saint Laurent. We have one in Canada, Perth, and in Smith Falls, and we are growing. So if you know of anyone who is looking for a career in real estate, please reach out to me and let's see if they make a good fit for either my team or as a single agent, or maybe another team in one of our offices. The other thing I wanted to mention is if you know of any sellers who are looking to sell their property through the winter months or the fall or spring months, now would be a good time, or at least into the summer, to start taking exterior photos that you can keep on file so that you can show everyone how beautiful your property looks in the summer months.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Q, and I'm the go-to insurance lady of the group. And today I want to share with you some information about critical illness insurance. Do you know that when you are diagnosed with a critical illness, such as cancer, having only OHIP is not enough to pay for other expenses, such as replacing your income, home care expenses, expensive medicines, treatment outside of Canada if need be, like if you need to go to the US or go back home for immigrants to get treatment, monthly bills. Therefore, having a critical illness insurance will help pay for those expenses that OHIP can't. And even you can use the death benefit of the insurance policy as living benefit, but it's a good idea to have a standalone CI so that you can have the ability to get the money back if you cancel it or when you pass away. Here from World Financial Group, providing you with financial peace of mind when you need it most. Thank you. Good morning.
Yeah, Susan McGarry's.
Oh, Susan McGee. Yes. Okay, sorry. Yeah, that's all right. I'm going to get Susan's as well.
I can say I'm Susan, but people will know I am not Susan.
All right. Yeah, only take a second here.
Sorry.
It's all good. Okay, here we go. Let's see.
Thank you, Tony. Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, you did say it. I just needed to register there. Just going to choose the one that's the most recent or one of the recent ones. Okay, here we go. That is ready.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Susan McGarry, and I carry a line of health and wellness supplements from the Mediterranean. And today I just wanted to quickly cover our Pure Garden Serum. I absolutely love this cream because it has over 48 uses. So it's not just for fine lines and wrinkles, although it does have an ingredient in there that helps produce your own collagen to help with fine lines and wrinkles. It also is great for my dogs in the wintertime for their paws when they're really dry and cracking. We also use them for diaper rashes for babies. So it's just great to have a jar within your home to have for cuts and burns and mosquito bites. So if there's anyone that you know and care about that's looking to improve their overall dry skin issues, have them reach out to me and I'd be more than happy to get them a sample. Thank you, Susan with Pure.
Susan's quick. This is
Quality
awesome.
guaranteed.
And my name is Bernie Franzer, Creative Insight Consultants. I do connections between businesses. And I also have I'm involved with two podcasts, one that's mine called Knack for Business. And the contact link is in the chat. And also a co-host on the Property Wizard, where it's about real estate investment and understanding all the different nuances in that space. Another quick item, two items. Just want to say thanks to Sam. We started doing some promotional for the golf tournament. He's providing some swag for the event. And so if you want to know more about that particular event, click the details. And also the World Referral Network. That's where there's over 1,000 members, free to join in and communicate with other folks to generate more business. And that's kind of the neat stuff about being part of Phoenix. If you're not here to do your announcement, we either do a recording or you can send a replacement in, do your piece. And now our guest of the honor, our guest of the day, the honor of, goes to Dave. Over to you, sir.
Hi, everyone. Yeah. Yes, it's Dave Belleville from Belleville's Quality Frozen Foods. Thank you very much. I have to give you a little story. I'm sure you have all heard it. I was a Maple Leaf and Schneider's rep for about 16 years of my life. So I did grocery stores. I know all of that business. I did that for 12 years. And we used to have order sheets, and we'd go into stores, and every product would have a 5-digit product code. So you go into the store and you take your order sheet, and you go and you take the guy's order, and they'd have this little machine. It was called a poet. And poet meant programmable ordering, remote transmission. So that's what it meant. So you put all your orders in this machine, and then you took a telephone and you coupled it to the telephone, and you press send, and it sent your orders into the computer. So after doing that for 12 years, I didn't need the order sheet anymore. I could basically go into the meat counter and look at a product and know the product code by heart, because I had put them in so many times that I knew all the product codes by heart. And that would impress a meat manager that I would come in and he said, "What do you want?" And I'd be the one that pressing all the numbers into for his order. He's getting blown away that I knew all the numbers by heart, kind of thing. And we still reminisce. I call the next salesman that I worked with for 30 years or 30 years ago, and we reminisce by remembering product codes. We have a good laugh about it. So it's kind of funny. But what it taught me is that once you acquire a skill or get a reputation out there, then people trust you with their business, and then you're always reliable, always present. So that helped me along through my life, and I managed to get a job with Schneider's afterwards, where I was able to sell to the restaurant industry, and then come to find out the products in the restaurant industry were so much better than the ones in the retail stores. A product I fell in love with was pre-cooked bacon. And it came in a 150 slice pack, and it was about this thick. And the slices were just like regular slices of bacon, and it was beautiful. So once I fell in love with that product, there was many more products I discovered, and I made those aware to my spouse, who was working in the government at the time in Edmonton. And once in a while, Schneider's or Maple Leaf would have a deal that they'd say something was close to code date and they reduced the price. I would give that information to my spouse, and she'd spread it out and then we'd sell like cases of bacon. So it was like that's what kind of started the idea, was that maybe there is a business for having access to the restaurant industry stuff and providing it to people like you and me. So that's setting the business, is that I have a good relationship with one of the best meat suppliers in all of the country, called McGregor's Meats and Seafoods out of Toronto. The number one client is the Keg across Canada. I have access to USDA Prime and Canadian Prime and Wagyu beef and all the things that restaurants have access to, but grocery stores are afraid to sell because of the price point. So anyway, you want to spend a little bit more money. There's always people with birthdays and people that want to feel special once in a while. And money's been like, they're selling cakes for $100, man. So there has to be some spoil me money out there. And what better way to spoil yourself is either trying the smoked salmon fresh from New Brunswick. You've got access to organic chicken. You got access to deals that when they do cutting and stuff like that, they have like discards that they package and they sell at a better price, and I have access to that. I guess Jacqueline she loves those tenderloin pieces every time, right? And it's not expensive, and it's a good thing to have in your freezer all the time. And whenever you could do a stew with it, you could do kebabs with it, you can slice it thin, you can do stir fry with it. can do a beef and broccoli. It's endless, and you're playing with tenderloin, so it's fantastic. Tony's favorite product is the pre-cooked ribs, and I'm sure he likes it because there's no sauce on them, because he can put his own sauce, the sauce he loves on ribs. And everybody else that sells ribs in the grocery store sells ribs with a sauce on it, because that adds weight to the packaging. And of course, that reduces the cost, and they can sell for a little bit cheaper. But, you just take the ribs, put your own favorite sauce on it. Or if you're a keto person on keto and you don't want sugar on your meat, you can have it plain and have some ribs plain and just enjoy the fat. And you'd probably be better off than avoiding the sugar. Right, Jacqueline? No sugar? Anyway, so I get excited and I'm passionate about what I do. And there's not much more happiness than people talk about my products. And when they do entertain, and when Tony tells me that my frozen steak is better than the fresh one at the grocery store, it kind of puts a little feather in your cap and say, okay, that's great. The product's doing its job, and then that'll create repeat business all the time. So I'll leave it. I was planning on doing what we're going to do there today is maybe have some people over. And did you get anybody interested, or Tony?
Yeah, I think we have about 5 or 6 coming, as far as we can tell so far. So I'm going to be there for sure, but we will send out another a text blast just to get people to remind.
Okay, so that's good. Gives me an idea. Jacqueline, you coming?
Yep.
All right. What are you bringing?
A yoga mat.
A yoga mat.
Love it.
She's going to be zen with meat.
Oh, very zen.
I got one in the garage there too. We'll have to do some yoga. Anyway.
Deep breath in, ribs in, eat a rib.
Anyway, that's enough for a nutshell. I'm open to questions. Anybody has any requests for anything, or something you've had a long time ago we can't find anymore that you need some help with? And also, I'd like for you to share what was your favorite meal ever. Like, was it a restaurant that you went to, or was that a home meal, or can you think of something that really impressed you, that after the meal you said that was worth going again there? So I've got one. We went to that place where they give you a little bite samples, about 40 of them for a meal.
Is that Stella Luna?
No. No, but it was more of an experience because they give you little bite-sized pieces of stuff that was a different taste every time you had something. I forget what it was. Anyway, it was really, really well done, and it took about 2 hours for everything to be completed. But it's like I think it was like $600 by the end of it. It's not cheap, but it's downtown Edmonton there, and we went to celebrate our promotion. So that was really good. So
welcome, everybody.
I'd do that one again.
Yeah, that sounds like Steak 360. Something like that.
No, it's not that one.
Oh, okay. But yeah, but usually a meal like that is usually associated with a good time. Like if you're celebrating an anniversary or some milestone, and then you have a good meal, it just makes it better because you have good people surrounding it. If you just all by yourself, it's not as much fun,
There's one dish in Edmonton. It's number 23 at this restaurant, and it's just so good that when you remember the number, it's a good one. And I would put that Korean fried chicken up there too.
Yeah, is that number 15?
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember that number.
I remember that. And I've tried twice to bring Sam, but he always has other plans. You know, it's a busy man.
Yeah, there's a question that Jacqueline has. Are the ribs beef or pork?
I can have both. I have both. I have the beef and the pork.
Yeah, the pork is really good.
No sauces on there either. So.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
So
Well,
anything else that we should know about your luncheon at noon? I guess some are bringing salad or
yoga mat.
Jacqueline's bringing a yoga mat. I can bring my tuning forks. We'll do a nice Zen luncheon, steak, extravaganza.
Well, she's going to show us how it's done.
Head
Dave,
stands for all. Head stands for all.
That stands for all. Yeah.
Dave, thank you so much. I appreciate the
That's great.
presentation. Appreciate your products because they do make their way into this house, and they somehow disappear. I don't understand. Yeah,
You have a quite hungry son. Yeah, I see you got them there.
Yeah, he's a tiny soul, isn't he? And well, his dad isn't far behind when you show up with those with the tomahawk pork chops or the different steaks or the smoked salmon. All right, folks, we're just going to move on. So here are some crossover links to LinkedIn if you're not connected, or the YouTube channel, and other things that we're looking for. We are looking for a alarm company that either does home and auto, especially with all the auto thefts that are happening. Travel agent, a event planner, house cleaner, landscaper, gift basket company, photographer, legal firm, either family and or business law or corporate law, sign makers, and swag and promotional goods, men's and women's clothing apparel, plumber, and mobile hairdresser. The Monday group is also looking for someone to do life insurance. So that's what's rolling in. I'm just going to share my screen to show you the events that are coming up on the calendar. And so you should see a screen share happening at this point. So, by the way, although Dave has a special event that's happening today, he's also available on Monday mornings. So if you can't make his event today, book a time on Monday. Just let him know this week so he can prepare for it. So that'll be on Monday at midday. So East End Group, that's us. Moving to Heal. So I don't think Penny is making it because she's working out her magic with people. And also she's doing it 7 to 8. So if you go to Dave's and eat and buy with food, then you can work it out with Penny Lee later on and get those stretches going. South End Group for Phoenix meets on Thursday morning, same time, same channel. Moving to Heal mid-morning with Penny Lee, and again, Penny Lee 7 to 8. Tune in with Tony. That's the Friday afternoon. If you need to get that Zen moment and need a place just to kind of unwind all the stresses of the week, there you go. Just show up there. There's also a Moving to Heal classes happening in Russell's Meadow Retirement Home. That is at between 10 and 11. And that's with Penny Lee on the 25th. It's happening every 2 weeks. The Mix and Mingle, that is going to be happening in East End at Picture Plus. It's going to be held in the evening from 6:30 to 8:30. That's at one of our members' locations. And they do pictures, they do prints of pictures and framing. If you have any upcoming events that you want to highlight, let me know. So what I need is a picture, a link, how the person register, contact person, dates and times, and location. That way we can promote and propagate that information out there for folks. A couple other things. We've had 286 referrals year to date, $172.4 thousand worth of business of transactions between members. That's a really significant piece, and that's year to date. We've had more than year to date. From 2016 to now, we've had $4.4 million worth of transactions conducted between members. It's kind of important. Your e-card. One of the things you might really find handy about your e-card, and for those of you folks who are listening in, the e-card is a it's a one link provides all the information about you. And the one thing that Tony has acquired is it's an actual physical card. Sam, do you have your card handy so you can show people? And so it kind of has two really handy things with it. It has a QR code on the back end, so someone can scan it with their phone, or it has a tap. It has a near field communication chip in there. So you come up and tap someone's phone. And your entire, you see that, that's where those little Wi-Fi logo in the upper right-hand corner is. And all it does is it pushes out all the information to the person you're presenting it to. You'll see it over my shoulder, the QR code there. Same thing. Someone scans it, automatically populates all the information about yourself, makes it frictionless for them to either phone you, email you, text you. You put video content in there. So that's kind of really important. And if you embed it inside your signature blocks and your emails, even a better way to promote and connect to your business. We've had over 6,800 taps year to date coming through that. So again, it's a good way to make those connections to people and find out what's going on. Now we're going to do the I haves and what's been going on in our week. And I will start off with Matt. Over to you, sir.
Good morning, everybody. Been a busy week here. Not so much with the Phoenix group as per se, but definitely busy going on out in the field out there. Had a BAM with Wendy a couple weeks back, right after our last meeting that I was on. Awesome meeting. Got to meet Craig, her husband. Awesome guy. Had good conversation, good chat and stuff like that. A lot of common. We know quite a few people, the common people here. So anyways, that's pretty much it for me. Thank you so much for your time, guys.
Matt, thank you so much. Jacqueline, what's been happening in your week?
First, thanks, Dave. I love your products. You know that. I had an amazing conversation with one of my life coach clients yesterday, and she called and said, send me the contract. And I'm absolutely delighted because part of it was about mortgages. And I'm very much looking forward to having a few BAMs for next week. And thank you so much. This was great.
Jacqueline, thank you so much. Sam, over to you.
Thank you, Bernie. First of all, Dave, I'm ticked off at you, Dave. You're having a barbecue without me in town. You did that on purpose, I know. So wait till our next squash game. I'm going to kick your, you know what.
He's got high hopes. He does have high hopes. He's a positive individual, I tell you.
I'm positive I'm going to kick your. No, you guys have a great time today. I hope you have great weather. And I remember those, was it those Cajun chicken or whatever you had last year? That was fabulous. That was one of my favorite meals of all time. That spicy chicken that you had. I don't remember the name of it, but it was excellent.
It's number 15.
No, that was the steak. We did it with steak, Sam.
Was it?
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
The other chicken.
It was so good it tasted like chicken, right?
Okay. So much for my ability to understand what I'm eating. Things going on. I continue to advertise for our friend Alex, who puts in EV power supply systems in homes. I put his information with my my receipts. If there's anybody else that wants something like that, I don't mind doing it. I don't mind advertising for you. Just I slip it in with my sales receipts, and people ask about it, and I tell them what it's about. Besides that, well, I signed up to the golf tournament, and Dave signed up for the golf tournament, so I can kick your butt there too. Can't do it on the squash court, so. And oh, Dave, sorry, not Dave. Matt, I sent you a chat there about Payne, P-A-Y-N-E.
Yeah, I just replied to you, sir. Yep.
Oh, okay, my neighbor installed one. He's an HVAC guy, and I'd never heard the name before, so I'm just wondering about their system. Thank you for replying.
Yeah, no worries. It's pretty much like there's Carrier, Bryant, and Payne. They're all in the same, made in the same factory, just different tags put on most of them and sold for different prices. So It's a decent unit. Nothing, I just installed them literally at my neighbor's house last week. So, I sold it to my neighbor. So I'd sell it, they're decent units. Not top of the line by any means, but they're decent units for sure. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Tony, over to you, sir.
Okay. Well, thanks a lot, Dave, for sharing your story again. I do love that story of how things come about and why we are in certain professions, and it just looked like everything that you were doing all has to do with food and the enjoyment of food. And I like that perspective in the sense that whatever that you're doing, if you really love what you do, you get good at it. You should really have a podcast. Like there's certain ways that you cook that I learned from. Every time I ask you, and every time we come to a barbecue, like we're going to come at noon. There's other things that I've learned. Another tool, like the one thermometer you can put in the steak in the oven, and it goes on your phone, so or something like that. There's a remote thermometer, so you're not going to overcook a turkey or overcook something. So it's great. They had some business with Shane. I sent him somebody for massage therapy. Ongoing business with Eric Sinego, our accountant, and we're going to do some stuff there. Also, Matt, I'm getting for you to, if you have a chance to talk to Alex. He's our electrician, and he's in homes all the time. And I definitely see a mixing of trades. Like you might know somebody that wants to put in a car thing or a wall of some kind of electricity, and he might be in a house that is looking for an HVAC. So I definitely see a sharing of business there. You have a chance, have a BAM with him.
We actually did. I forgot to mention that one. The same day I met with Wendy, I did meet with Alex.
Oh, okay.
We did sit down and chat about things.
Seems Okay. Perfect. Okay. No, I did not get that. Okay. So I'll put you down for 2 BAMs then. Okay. That because the second BAM you get into that ballot, right? You need 2 BAMs in a week, and now you're into that ballot box.
2 in a week. I thought you only had to have 1 a week. I didn't know there was provisions in order to get the ballot in there.
We posted it every week, all the recommendations, and you need at least 2 BAMs in a week, and then you get in. So it's all good. Went to the Baca motorcycle thing this weekend. It was really great. There's over $30,000 in prizes. I was so surprised with some of the outpouring of support from the businesses and so on, even after COVID. And it's been rough on many businesses, and they're still trying to give. Like, I really have a lot of respect for small business. The big corporations, not so much. They don't do much. But the small guy, you think that they can't afford it, and they're having problems with staff like everybody else, and they're still giving to these people and giving to charities and so on. And even Bernie and I have seen it's a small business that seems to be supporting a lot of the still charities that are going on locally. So that is so great to see. A big shout out to a lot of small businesses. You've been through a lot, so it's great. It's great that you're still wanting to help. And Dave, I'm going to be meeting you later today. We're trying to settle up some things from the last order. And other than that, I had a BAM with Penny Lee. And that's about my week. Yeah, it's a lot going on. Thanks, Bernie.
Thank you, Tony. Let's see. This week I have a referral that I did with Eric Sinego. So he's someone was looking for an accountant. And I said, I got 3 people, and he says, who would you pick right off the bat? I said, well, I do know someone who's a wise soul. So he went that route. So Eric's getting a tap on the shoulder that way. And what else to say? This is a quick reminder. If you're having a BAM and you're having it virtually, record the content and then send, if you're doing it over Zoom, and then send the content over to Tony, especially if you had a really good conversation. You start talking about something, it could be about mortgages. It could be about, how to structure your mortgage, when to go for it. It could be about brakes. Sam serviced both my vehicles. He saved me over $500 versus what the dealerships are going to charge me. And, same service. Yep. The dealerships. Yep. And it's not they have to make their money too, but at the same time, I also have to spend my money wisely.
Yeah.
And so that's the benefit of connecting. And that's the type of information you want to share. And if you happen to go out for a bite to eat somewhere with somebody to have a BAM or a group of you, much like Tony and Dave and I did, Table Saddam is on 1200 Bank Street. That's pretty bad when I can remember the street address, right? It helps it's a rounded number. And the chicken is number 15, by the way, that has the Korean barbecue chicken with a bit of spice to it. But it's a great place. And so what you're doing, if you're having a BAM like that, take a couple of pictures, of who's there, picture of the business. And what I'm getting at is post it on social media. And we can also post it on LinkedIn. We did that for the that particular event that Tony and Dave and I attended. The purpose behind that is you're encouraging people to have those BAMs, and BAM is a business activity meeting. That's where you're engaged in a conversation with one of your cohorts of Phoenix, understand what they need and what they do, and that way you can share that information with other people, or exactly when someone pops up and says, "I need AC. What should I do? Mine is dead in the water." I know this guy. Right? That's the whole piece, right? That's where you get to know them. Now, when you're posting it on social media, you're promoting a business in the community, right? And it's typically like the Korean restaurant. It's somewhere, if you don't travel that route, you'll never know about it. So what better way to promote that? Anyhow, I've gone off in a segue, but the idea is to share that information and push it out there, and that's why we're Phoenix. I'm going to share the quote for the day. Success is the child of audacity. That's from Benjamin Disraeli. And that's it. We're at an end at 8:52 a.m.
Good stuff. Also wanted to let you know that I read a quote in an article, and it said that if you're doing a selfie with friends, your smile is always much bigger than if you're by yourself. If you're just doing a selfie with yourself or a selfie with people, your smile is always bigger. So it's just you're doing with other people, and you look good. You look better.
So, Matthew, do you ever go on Nextdoor? Nextdoor?